Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. When it comes to older hardware, most people think that once manufacturers stop supporting it, that's it. You should immediately drop it and buy something newer. I do not really agree with that. My approach is different. I think hardware should serve as long as possible. The only thing that should change is what you use this hardware for. And today, I want to talk about specific example because I actually have something to show you. Meanwhile, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss new videos. We talk about cybersecurity, tech, Linux, and retro technologies in general. So, back in 2014, I bought myself a MacBook Pro. This machine has a dual-core i5, so obviously I can call it powerful by modern standards. But every computer has a story, and this one definitely has one. This MacBook was my main machine up until 2021. Then I spilled coffee on it, some time passed, and it stopped working properly. Still, it worked for about 7 years, and honestly, that's pretty good result, especially when you look at how fast everything is moving in the computer industry. Two things were broken badly, the keyboard and the battery. The battery was basically useless. It was almost impossible to use this laptop without a charger. I wanted to fix it, but back then, I didn't really have the motivation to replace all of that. So I just left it on the shelf for better times and bought myself a M1 MacBook Air. That machine served me well too. I used it for almost 5 years, then sold it and bought another computer specifically for running Linux. And while I do like Apple Silicon hardware, I always feel limited by Apple's ecosystem. Good hardware, yes, but you're always inside Apple's rules. And honestly, I've also lost the trust in the big tech and how they handle data. So, long story short, nowadays I use Linux almost all the time. But I still had this good old 2014 MacBook Pro lying around. And at some point I thought, why not revive it? It still has a great display, it has a great keyboard, it's portable. This machine is still nice, it just needs some fixes. The battery was around $40. The whole top case was around $30. So for about $70, I basically got the refreshed old MacBook that I can now use with Linux or patched macOS. And yes, with Open Core Legacy Patcher, you can install newer macOS versions on unsupported Macs. Just think about it. You can take a 12-year-old machine and boot into a recent version of macOS. That's actually pretty good. Now, I'm not going to pretend that it runs perfectly. It doesn't. And of course, it cannot replace modern Apple Silicon machines. Even the newer, cheaper MacBooks are generally much faster. My 2014 MacBook Pro cannot compete with them in performance. But it has something that Apple Silicon doesn't really have: freedom. Freedom to install almost anything you want. macOS, Linux, Windows, HiveOS, whatsoever. You can actually boot real operating systems, not just run everything in a virtual machine. I'm honestly really surprised how easily people gave up on all this. It used to be normal to run macOS, Windows, and Linux side by side on the same machine using the boot camp. Now everything is more locked down. ARM chips are great, I'm not saying that those are bad, but they feel limited, especially on Apple's hardware. Asahi Linux is also a great project, but to me it still feels like Linux is being reverse engineered to run on Apple's hardware. So it's always this game of catching up with whatever Apple changes or blocks next. But with this old Intel MacBook, things are simpler. It's just a normal computer. So what I'm running on it? I installed MX Linux. I already had good experience running Debian-based distros on the old Apple machines, including an iBook G4 and 2006 iMac. MX Linux felt like a good fit. I also considered Linux Mint, Kubuntu, and Fedora. But MX Linux runs really well there. I picked the systemd version, and honestly, it just fits this machine nicely. Of course, let's be realistic. If you open a ton of browser tabs, watch several videos at once, or try to do heavy video work, you will be disappointed. It's still a dual-core laptop from 2014. You can't cheat physics. But if you understand the limits, it's actually enjoyable. For writing, light coding, terminal work, notes, browsing, SSH, and basic tasks, it's totally fine. It gets updates, it's easy to maintain, it doesn't feel like an e-waste anymore. It feels like a useful machine once again. The main thing is not to expect much from it. Video editing? No. Local LLMs? No. Heavy multitasking? Also no. But as a lightweight Linux laptop, it actually makes sense, and the keyboard is still great. So what's the point of the video? Am I saying that you should immediately go ahead and buy an old Intel MacBook? No, not really. Honestly, ThinkPads and other older laptops might be better Linux machines in many cases. Those are cheaper, easier to maintain, and often more practical. What I'm saying is different. You don't always need the latest and greatest. Sometimes you already have the hardware that can still be useful. You just need to find the perfect job you give to that machine. I personally would not spend too much money on an Intel Mac today. Maybe around $200 maximum. And even that is mostly because of the display, keyboard, and form factor. Once Intel Macs go above this price, I think they stop making sense. Because at that point, you can often find an M1 MacBook Air for around $300 or even less. And yes, it will also become outdated one day. So this is not a go ahead and buy an old Intel MacBook video. This is more like look at what you already have. Maybe your old machine is no longer good as your main computer, but maybe it can be repurposed as a Linux laptop, a writing machine, a retro machine, a testing box, or something for running the old games. And honestly, sometimes that's enough. Hopefully this video makes you think about your old hardware and how you can repurpose it. Thank you guys for watching, please subscribe, press the like button, and see you soon!